Hey everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Yeah, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, you can check us out at MyChartCoach.com and our YouTube channel at MyChartCoach.com. So first up here is INPX. Really nice move today, closed up 70% on the day. RSI is at 61, so it still has room to run until the 70 overbought level. Fasto closed at 95, almost maxed. There was a big bullish crossover on ADX with plus DI crossing ADX and minus DI to the upside. The big move today was the close above the middle Bollinger Band. As you can see, this dotted purple line here, currently at 24, had been major resistance for the last couple of weeks. INPX had been trying to close above that level. That finally happened today. There was also a PSAR bull flip. You can see the dots flipped below the candles. And then the share price ran up to 37 and it came close to our target during intraday trading at the 50-day simple moving average at 39. That is the key level to break. And after hours trading, it did hit that level. Notice there was a giant volume spike. There was a little over 4 million shares traded earlier in the day. I mean, big volume poured in all the way into the close. And so a break above the 50-day simple moving average tomorrow at 39, that's going to put this gap on deck. There's a small gap between low of day on the 8th of August and high of day on the 9th. And so a move up into the low 50s there would fill the gap. If it can break above that, there's another gap that's back here. So there's a gap right here in between these two candles, and then there's another gap above that. The bottom of the gap is up here at about 83, 84 cents, and then the top of the gap is up here at about $1.25. And you notice that the 100-day simple moving average is in between at $1.04. So if this can get above the 50-day simple moving average and break above that gap, it could make a run up here to dollar land. So yeah, so keep that in mind. If it fails to break above the 50-day simple moving average and pulls back, you'd like to see the candles hold above EMA 4 here at 28. If it breaks below that, the big level to hold is that middle Bollinger Band. As long as that middle Bollinger Band turns into support, a new uptrend should begin. So really nice move on INPX. Congrats, everyone. Okay, so take a look at JAGX. Okay, this closed up 18% today. RSI is in the 50 to 70 bull zone. You've got RSI at 56, and then you've got Fasto here at 62. So there's plenty of juice to run until overbought levels. With the green line above the black and the red line, that's plus DI above ADX and above minus DI. That shows the bulls are currently in control. There was a nice move above the middle Bollinger Band today. As you can see, for the last couple of months, there's been a sideways channel, and this 50 cent level is the top of the channel that's currently lined up with this green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average and the high close, which was on September 14th. And so if there's a break above 50 and a close above that level, it's going to be very bullish. We'll be looking for a potential run up to the 100-day simple moving average at 57, break that, and it could head up to that 200-day simple moving average at 71. But first things first, it's got to break above the top of the channel and 50 to head higher. If it fails to close above that level, it could consolidate and pull back. You want to see this middle Bollinger Band at 42 turn into support. Notice it was the largest volume day since back here on the first week of August 4th. So that many times volume precedes price. So we will see if it can if it's signaling more upside potential for JAGX. And then if you look here, there's a MACD bullish crossover on the 8, 13, and 5, and so that's signaling the possible start of a new push higher. And if you look here, there's a nice bounce. The MACD line bounced off the signal line, and now it's starting to break higher. Also notice the spike on the MACD histogram. Notice how the histogram bars were declining, and then there was a spike today. That's signaling more upside potential. Okay, so take a look at IPCI here. We'll take a look at IPCI. I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties there. Yeah, so if you look here, IPCI made our radar today because it's heating up. You've got RSI here at 48. We want to see that break above 50. It did close at 53 today on Fasto, so now it's above 50. It's in the bull zone with room to run. You've got a bullish crossover there on 80X. So these are all signals that the chart is heating up, along with the PSAR bull flip. Notice the dots are now below the candles, and then this had the close above the middle Bollinger Band as well, just like JAGX. Notice the big volume spike down here, so there was huge volume behind the move, and then this has got the it's got a channel as well, sideways channel. And so what it needs to do is break above the top of the channel, which is right about $1.10, just below that level. And if it can get above that, then we'll be talking about a potential run to the 50-day simple moving average, which is up here at $1.28. So that is the next target. If it can get above this high close, that's the closing price on the 15th. That's just below $1.10. And so, yeah, the chart is really heating up here. Notice you got this crossover starting on the 8, 13, and 5. You got the PSAR bull flip. You have RSI and Fasto both heating up. This is kind of in the middle of the channel. You know, the bottom of the channel, it just had a double bottom here at down here at about 85. This 80 support zone. Notice how it hit that level again and it's bounced off. Now if it can break above this $1.10, that's going to be a signal that's really heating up and getting ready to move higher. And then if you notice, this is also a gap play. There's a big gap up here. And so, you know, once again, if this can get moving, you can see it hit these moving averages and try to fill the gap above. Okay, so take a look at CYCC. This stock is on the radar. I guess they have a conference call tomorrow, but the chart is heating up, so it made our radar. It's got the, you know, we've been looking for this thing to make a bullish move. It's in the bull zone on RSI and Fasto. It did have a bearish crossover here on 80X with plus DI crossing 80X to the downside. You want to see that the green line crossed the black line back to the upside. And so this had the big move last week. It had a multi-day, you know, it ran on the 20th and the 21st, and then it pulled back. It had that close above the top of this big long channel. We were talking about channels with those other stocks, and this stock happened to break out above the channel last week, and that's the closing price back here in July. The high close here after the big gap down. There's a huge gap on this chart as well, and so it closed above the top of the gap, and then we wanted to see that level turn into support. That's the top of the channel, and it's also the you know, the key level to hold, and then it did do that today. So we're looking for you know, 190 to hold. That's currently where EMA 8's at, basically. That's the line, and we want to see this 50-day simple moving average currently at 177 and the middle Bollinger Band at 176 hold. As long as both those levels hold, there should be more upside potential. The key level to break is going to be this closing price here from Thursday of last week, and if it can get above that around 225, then you could see a potential run up here to the $3 land. That's the top of the gap and the 100-day simple moving average. So keep an eye on CYCC. If you look here at the 15-minute chart, you can see it's wound super tight. So this is a 15-minute chart. It's just a 2-day chart. Each candle represents 15 minutes of trading. And so look how tight the Bollinger Bands are over here. Very, very, very tight. It signals that a move is imminent. You know, there's going to be, yeah, having some more difficulties here, but yeah, bear with me for 1 second. But yeah, this is signaling that a move is coming soon, that this consolidation period is going to end soon. Notice how that the Bollinger Bands were super tight or super wide, and then they've gotten tighter, 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 and then now they've gotten where we have the upper Bollinger Band here, that's solid purple line, and the lower Bollinger Band here is the solid purple line below, and the dotted purple line is the middle Bollinger Band, and the final candle of the day is it fit right in between both levels, the lower and the upper. So if it breaks through the upper Bollinger Band, that's going to signal upside potential and a breakout higher. If it breaks below the lower Bollinger Band and this 100 simple moving average, that'll signal downside risk. So it did close above the 50 simple moving average. That's a green line. That's what we were looking for at 193. Like we were saying earlier, we put out alerts. We want to see it stay above that 193 level. If it can do that, this could get moving. So keep an eye on CYCC. This chart is wound super tight. And then, yeah, let's go for, let's see here. We can do this. Sorry about that. But yeah, check out ACBFF here. This stock had a nice breakout today. If you look, it's making a really nice move. This is a Canadian marijuana sector play. Sorry about this. I had it all set up, and then I had some technical difficulties. I was gonna start over, but I figured I'd go ahead and try to make this happen. So yeah, if you look here at ACBF, they had some good news. They got a license to sell their Canadian-grown marijuana in Germany. So they're licensed to do that. That's starting up. If you look here at their last press release, this was from the 19th. They're going to be supplying the German medical cannabis market. So yeah, if you are a canopy growth trader, if you're playing TWMJF, and you're looking for another stock in the sector, this is another one of the top plays, ACBFF. They're one of the top companies, and as you can see here, that this is setting up to test the recent high close, which is up here at about 245. So if you see a break above that 245, that's going to signal a run higher. If you look, it did close above high close horizontal resistance today. That was the closing price from last week, Wednesday of last week. It closed above that. That's usually signaling more upside potential. If it can get above this close here at about 245, that's going to be a big signal this wants to head higher. It has a very nice uptrend going. It's filled the jar back to the, it's filling the jar back to this previous level. If you look here, this looks like a cup with a handle. And so, this just looks like, basically, this has a lot of upside potential. Take a look at ACBFF. All right, thank you very much for viewing this video. Check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com. And just before I go, check out Bitcoin here. It's at almost at 4,000. And yeah, we put out some information on the Bitcoin stocks. We're bouncing today, so keep an eye on them this week as well. Okay, thank you.